guys, God bless. Welcome back to my channel. I am Charlene, and I feel like I haven't sat down in a long time, but it hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough because y'all know videos I recorded previously. But a lot has taken place and I need to talk to y'all immediately. Hopefully I can get this video out to you guys today, like early, like it's 8:40 in the morning. I'm trying to have it to you by 10. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's really important, especially about the future and going forward with this channel. Okay, so let's start with I have, if you don't know, I have siblings. I have 3 sisters. One's older than me, one's a year under me, and then one is about 4 years younger than me. Anywho, they're literally in the phase of life that I was once in. Like, each and every one of them are dealing with something. Like, I know how that feels. And my prayer for them has always to be to mature in the Lord. And y'all, we took a day where we fast and prayed together and just cried and loved on one another via phone, of course, because everyone's in different places. But it was so good to my soul. And we all agreed that we're going to do it again, which we're going to do it this Monday. And today's Saturday the 17th, February, just in case something happens, this video gets late. But anywho, so that did me so good. And it's like, some things through fasting and prayer, y'all, I'm gonna ask that you guys pray for my siblings, my sisters, and my brother. Obviously he wasn't excluded like in a jerk move, but my brother is a guy and he's in his own world, he's doing his own thing. And we as sisters, like that womanly feminine bond, we needed to do that, because my brother is so content. I wish I was as content as my brother. He don't have a care in the world. God is good, because let me have some of that contentment, because I need it. But anyway, and my brother's younger than me, and this is my mom's siblings, because obviously dad had kids. But so I want to talk to you guys about what has transpired after the fact. I had continued to, try to read and study as I normally do. And I've been having conversations with my husband and with friends. And you know that prayer that you kind of defaultly pray, like, Lord, reveal me, show me, help me, deliver me. Okay, so finally, I don't say finally, because God's time is perfect, but God answered what was wrong with me. And it is so bad and so ugly and so disgusting. It's like, I've been praying for these individuals for this, and I should have been praying that for myself. God has shown me, and I got a list. It's probably going to be in the thumbnail. God showed me that I was childish. He showed me I was unfaithful. He showed me I was disobedient. He showed me that I was dishonest. He showed me that I lacked discipline. He showed me that I was careless. He showed me a lot of stuff. Showed me that I was bitter. He showed me that I was selfish, inconsiderate. I would like to just say this. Painfully, and this is so embarrassing to me, because it's like, you should know better, but that's a part of my problem too, because he showed me I had pride. That I need to humble myself. But everything that I name there's a contrary of the fruit of the Spirit. And y'all know we studied that together with my husband. And God even showed me that I was a bit of a lukewarm Christian in context, because I had enough in my life that was going okay that I did not focus and concentrate on what wasn't, or I didn't even take time to see what wasn't. And he showed me through a number of things that I was ungrateful, and that's the biggest one I want to talk about: childish, ungrateful, and unfaithful. God showed me that I didn't truly trust him. He showed me that I was a whole lot of talk, a whole lot of mouth, and not a whole lot of walk. It hurts, but I can even say hypocritical to a certain extent. And y'all know my prayer: God help me so that I can help others. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm being really blunt and transparent right now. These things were painful and hurtful when God showed it to me, because it's like I questioned my salvation altogether, because I was like, well, if I'm not faithful, if I'm not trustworthy, and I don't trust you, God, and I'm not faithful towards you, God, and I'm moving, acting, and behaving as if I was a non-believer, then am I truly saved, right? This was a slap in the face, because a lot of people get comfortable and they don't sit around and say, well, I know I ain't saved. You hear all the time, well, I know I'm saved. That's what you hear all the time. But do you know what it truly means to be saved? And there go my nose. Excuse me, y'all. They want to act up every time I sit down and do a video. Lord help me. Allergies and sinuses and asthma. Y'all pray for me. But y'all, I felt so ugly and disgusted with myself, to the point where I said, I'm not going to go on YouTube anymore, because who am I? Who am I to speak of these matters and these things if I'm struggling? And y'all know I've been dealing with marriage, and God showed me about my marriage too, and how I was at fault, and I was having issues, and how I was blind, and how I was you, and I didn't turn them fingers and point it back towards me. And it's like, God, why would I sit in front of camera and talk about these things? Why would I even embarrass myself like that? Like, if somebody was just to sit and be a fly on the wall, they would be like, is this Char? Is this her? And that was hurtful. Like, it hurt me to the core to just sit there and just reanalyze and evaluate who I think I really am. And God is like, new creature, new creature. The flesh dies daily. Like, just reassuring me, like, this is an ongoing process. And I had gotten comfortable. Now, y'all know there was a picture floating around about revival somewhere in Texas somewhere. I don't know. But it kind of got people like, hold up. I haven't been in that state of praise and that state of surrender and that place of just reference God's glory in a long time. Even myself, I'm like, when the last time I had one of those moments where you just, Lord, this is me, oh Lord, take me, cleanse me, and just surrender and just give it your all. Funny thing is, that picture was circulating. And this past Sunday at our church, we had revival, y'all. Like, everybody was giving their all. And I just felt like this dirt was just kind of like, you know, you've been carrying around this mud and these cement blocks on you. And it just felt like it was just like, pew, 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 like everything was just falling and removing itself from me. And I'm just like, oh, you had no idea that you were just patting all that on you. Like, none. Like, we walk around in a sense of normalcy, and it's like, nah, you're anything but normal. Like, we carry around so many emotions, so many struggles, so many past experiences. Like, we just walk around carrying a lot, so much bitter, anger, sadness, sorrow, all that stuff, y'all. Like, just carrying it around, and we get so comfortable carrying it around that we forget that we're carrying around in the first place, and that heaviness and that burden feels normal. And it's like, God said, no. We have to keep reassuring one another and keep telling one another to leave things at the altar. Leave it to Jesus. Like, take it off. The only thing you're supposed to be putting on is the armor of God, and we fail to do that. So Sunday was like, oh, I feel so much better. But Sunday was the beginning. Like, it's all right. You got your tears out. You drop some stuff off at the altar. Now you have to go through your week. And y'all, this week was a week. And I was like, what happened? Like, you expect that to linger on you, right? Excuse me, y'all. But what God was definitely showing me, telling me is that, like, y'all, the effort we think we put into something, like the push and the strain that we do when it comes to reading, praying, and fasting, it's like, that's not even merely enough. Like, we get so comfortable in saying, well, I set this guideline, I set this rubric, and I have accomplished it, so I'm good. And God is saying no. And I was sitting here like, God, you got to make this thing full circle, because I don't talk about quiet time. I don't talk about routines. I don't talk about all this stuff. And we people can be like, well, what are we going to talk about? What can we do, right? That's going to be the attitude, people. What can we do? What is good? And God really just made it full circle for me. It's like, yo, it's not about what you have designated for him and you to deal with, or what you have designated for your time with him is supposed to be look like. And God had me in Chronicles, and it's crazy because, like, everything is for a reason. Everything made complete circle. In Chronicles, David was persistent, y'all. He was on it. He said, you know what? How foolish of me, how silly of me that I am in this big palace and I got all these rooms and these materials, and God's temple is under a tent. What is wrong with me? Why am I even, forgive me, Lord, I'm going to build a house for you. And he's anxious, and he's so anxious, and he's thinking, mind you, this is a good thing, right? This is an awesome thing that he wants to build a house for the Lord. And he got all these materials, like the golds, the silvers, the bronze, and the best of the woods, and all this stuff. And God said, and mind you, after he had got all that, God said, it is not you that I want to build my house, that I will build my house through your son. I was like, that is us. That is us. Now, I'm not trying to put me in scripture. Let's be clear. In context, we are so anxious and we're so ippity and so jumpy. And God has showed me how this has ruined us as a human race of female and male in different areas, of course. But I'm talking to my women. Like, when we see a sale, this company just did a $5 sale. That means I got to go get $50 worth of $5 things because it's the same thing and I'm actually saving, when in reality, I'm just abusing my freedom. Oh, these are only $1. These are only $3 and $5 and $2. I must get it because it's so cheap and I can afford it. Everybody has these pastel color highlighters or these regular highlighters or these gel highlighters. I gotta get it too. Everybody's switching to this Bible. This is their word of the year. This is their routine. This is what they eat, what they drink, how they sleep, what time they get up, what time they go to bed. I gotta do it too. And it's like, we can't continue to be anxious like that. We have to seek God with our whole heart and our whole mind so he can say, this is what I want you to do. Because let's be clear, there ain't no, how many people in the world? 4.75 billion, I don't know, trillion people. There ain't a trillion gods. Now, he can be everywhere, always, in every place, knowing everything, helping everybody. That's him. He is omniscient. He is omnipresent. That's him. He's all-knowing. He's all-powerful. That is him. That is the true character and mold and shape of God. However, he is one God, the true and living God. And we're his children. And he has a relationship with each and every one of us that is not going to look the same because we aren't the same. Our fingerprint, there is not even a single other person in the world that has your fingerprint. So why are we content And the understanding that everybody's routine is going to look exactly alike, that everybody's going to eat the exact same foods, that everybody's going to do things the exact same way, that is not so. Why do we assume that because we are similar to what we see, that we're fine and we're okay? God is still working regularly. God doesn't clock out. So whatever things I got going on, I got to continue to seek God for myself while I'm bringing you guys messages as well, because that is the, I don't want to say burden, but that is the task of a teacher. I have fully, wholeheartedly accepted this role, and God is dealing with me because I said, hey, God, I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm scared. I'm kind of on the disobedient side because I really don't want to, because then all fingers are pointing at me, and then everybody gonna be viewing and critiquing everything I do and say. And I don't like being in the light. I don't like being in the front. So there was a little bit of disobedient there, and God got me in order. Like, hey, you worrying about all this stuff. You sound like you don't trust me. You sound like you don't have faith in me. And that would be the honest truth. It would be the hard truth, the truth that I don't want to say, the truth that I didn't want to mention, the truth that I didn't want to come here and say, hey, sometimes I have trouble believing. Sometimes I have trouble being faithful. Sometimes I have trouble being obedient and giving you your due, God. And then I turn around and I'm talking to others and saying, hey, you should do this. You got to do that. You hypocrite. So while God was over here getting me all the way in order, I was getting my house in order. I was talking to my kids. I have been talking to my husband, having some meaningful, purpose-filled conversations. I have been encouraged. Others have encouraged me. Y'all, God is good because he answers prayers. He answers prayers. But we have to be in a place where we say, God, talk to me. God, be with me. God, walk with me. God, sit at these desks with me. God, be in this room with me. God, I'm listening. And let's not forget, let your quiet time sometimes just be you sitting and not doing nothing, not saying nothing. Like, God, talk to me. Sometimes we talk, and anxious, and lacking self-control. And he can't get a word in because we're doing too much. Like I said, this is not an attack on your hobby or interest. And every time I make this video, someone says, well, I do this for, I'm not talking to you in that particular area, nicely saying, because I felt like I was going mama mode. But hey, listen. Sometimes you just got to listen. And I don't mean you don't comment, y'all. That's not what I'm saying. But God is dealing with me with the same thing I see on here, is that there's this anxiousness, there's this ippity jumpy thing about us that we got to hurry up and defend ourselves. We got to hurry up and say this. We got to hurry up and do that. And it's like, God said, stop. Stop. And that's for me too. Like, God be using my husband to talk and preach and teach. And I always felt like I needed to have an input or a suggestion or a side note. And God says, just stop. Here, listen, just listen. I made up in my mind that last year, I don't want to look like this year, I don't look like next year. And it's just not in reference to material things because I'm not there. I ain't gonna say I could care less, but God is working on me about being content. And like I said, this has affected everything, how I view my kids, my marriage, my husband, my place in the home, myself, people around me, YouTube. Like, God has really been saying, hey, this discontentment you have, not being satisfied and grateful with what I've given you and what I have provided for you and what I have set out for you, get yourself together. And God has showed me that, like I told y'all, it's not specifically about a Bible or a pen or a highlighter or a room or a station or a desk. God just let me know, like, you have not been grateful for the little things, the small things, the things you consider insignificant, the things that weren't up to par to everyone else, because there was a lot of time viewing and seeking out what everybody else is doing, what everybody else looks like, and how everybody else feel about this, and what everybody else have. And this is why I know for a fact God wanted me to bring this on this channel to talk about this, because I know I'm not the only one. I need to be okay with the Dollar General Bible equally as I'm okay with the Inspired Bible. And I wasn't there. I was not there. And I'm still working on it. And maybe some of you are like that. And obviously, by no means, if somebody give you and you go get you can afford to get something, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. But the problem is when we say, this isn't enough. I think I should get this one. This isn't enough. I think I should get that one. We do it with food. We do it with how we dress. And God showed me through all of that. Like within this past week, he's really just made a full circle. Because these are things he's been telling me all along. Like, you think the problem is Bible hoarding? You think the problem is buying a bunch of pens? You think the problem is buying a bunch of shoes and clothes and dresses and wigs and hair products? You think that's what it is? The root is discontentment. You were not pleased. You were not happy with what I have given you, what I provided you. You were ungrateful. You were a brat. I was playing that, hey, my husband, I felt like he wasn't lovey-dovey enough. Are you mad? Your husband is a God-fearing man. Some women wish, hope, and pray with pleading tears for that. Are you mad? Your husband is a wonderful father. He's a hardworking man, but you decide to focus on the fact that you didn't get a kiss today. You didn't get a hug today. Are you mad? Some of you may be in the opposite place. You may say, oh, my husband just he won't stop touching me. He won't stop bothering me in that area. Honey, there's some people who their husband doesn't work in that area. They have issues. They have health conditions. They're not there. Be grateful, whatever it is that is. And this is something that I was working out with my therapist, that he was like, are you still doing your thankful, grateful journal? And I said, yes. And it has opened up my eyes to what I should be grateful for and what I should be thankful for, and the things that we get comfortable, like, yeah, you go outside. Which car we're going to drive? Black car, my car, the Dodge. Are you mad? Did you thank God? Which water bottle I'm going to use today? The circuit one, or this one here about the time with the times and stuff on it? Which glass I'm going to use? Which coffee I'm going to drink? Which sandwich we're going to make? What are we going to have for dinner? Are we mad? We have been spoiled and ungrateful, and the whole time God is showing us all around the country, these people that are losing their lives, they can't even hold on to religion. They can't even hold on to a church or a pretty Bible. Their homes are being destroyed. Their lives are being invaded. Their money's gone. They're living day by day. Are we mad? God has been so good to us and so faithful, and we have not. Have you been good to God? I had to sit down myself and say, you have not been good to God. You don't even worship him like you should. You don't even reference him like you should. You don't acknowledge him like you should. You are ungrateful and you are unfaithful. And that had me trembling in sadness and sorrow. Like, God, I am unfaithful to you. When without you, there is no me. There is no life. There is no husband, no kids. There is nothing. I am nothing without God. And I need to be reminded of that. And I was this past week. And I wish I had time to go through each piece and step with y'all, but it's going to take too long. And maybe I'll go live. I don't know. Because a lot of stuff is tedious, but collectively, it'll make sense. But then somebody will have to actually watch to the end, right? But I just know that God got me all the way together. And I was sharing with my friend Annie. We fight God, whether on the surface or under. We fight him all the time. We want something so bad. We ask for something so bad. We focus on what someone else has or is lacking so bad. And social media is to blame. And God dealt with me with that too. Like, I want to do a fast from everything. And I want to do that from March 1st to the end of March. I don't know to what extent right now, but Definitely going to delete Facebook again. I definitely want to not be on here as much. I want to designate specific times and dates to be on here and check in, because I know y'all, like, one thing I don't like is when I'm in my own little world and I'm dealing, and God's dealing with me, I slack on comments, I slack on posts. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I hate that part, but at the same time, God had to do some pruning. He had to do some separating and dividing in my life and on me. And I thank God, and I count it all joy, no matter how painful it was. But I love God, and I know He loves me. He loves me enough to have the grace and mercy and the faithfulness to continue to deal with me even when I am unfaithful. And that says a lot on its own. So I know this video is extremely long. I love y'all. Keep praying for me. Like I said, hopefully I can get this to y'all today. But yeah, just keep praying for me, y'all. I love y'all. I will talk about this some more. But right now, I just got to get myself together. Love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.